Once upon a time in a bustling city, there lived a wealthy man named Mr. Smith. He had a son named Peter, who had grown up in the lap of luxury. Peter had everything he could ever desire: a beautiful mansion, the latest gadgets, and expensive toys. However, despite his riches, Peter had a reputation for being spoilt and selfish. One sunny morning, as Peter was strolling through the park, he noticed a group of children playing near a dilapidated old building. Their clothes were tattered, and their faces were worn from the hardships they faced. Peter, being curious, approached them and asked, "Why are you playing here instead of in a fancy park like I do?" One of the children, a girl named Sarah, looked at Peter and replied, "We don't have a fancy park, and our families cannot afford such luxuries." Peter, with a hint of sympathy, offered to buy some toys for them. He went to the nearby toy store, bought a bunch of toys, and returned to the children. Their faces lit up with joy as Peter distributed the toys among them. As days went by, Peter continued to visit the children and brought them more toys and snacks. Gradually, he began to learn about their lives, filled with struggles and challenges. It opened his eyes to the stark contrast between his privileged life and their less fortunate circumstances. One day, Sarah shared a dream she had: to go to school like other kids. However, her family couldn't afford the fees and books. Peter, moved by her determination, decided to do something truly meaningful. He approached his father, Mr. Smith, and explained the situation. He asked for help to sponsor the education of Sarah and her friends. Mr. Smith, impressed by his son's newfound compassion, readily agreed to support their education. The children's families were overjoyed and grateful for the opportunity. As the years passed, Peter continued to be actively involved in the lives of Sarah and her friends. He became not only their benefactor but also their friend and mentor. Sarah, with Peter's support, excelled in her studies and eventually fulfilled her dream of becoming a teacher. The rich man's son, Peter, learned a valuable lesson during his encounters with Sarah and her friends. He discovered that true wealth lies not in material possessions but in kindness, compassion, and the ability to make a positive impact on the lives of others. And so, Peter transformed from a spoiled and selfish boy into a caring and generous young man, using his wealth and privilege to make the world a better place, one act of kindness at a time. The moral of the story is that true richness is not measured by wealth but by the richness of one's heart and the positive influence one can have on the lives of others.